You probably can't see it, but it's banana, avocado, pecans, a lot of deep leafy greens, the blueberries in there. It's a bunch of other stuff. I call it my what I haven't eaten in a long time smoothie because you're supposed to eat the things you're supposed to eat that you haven't been eating. So I went in the fridge and just all the stuff that I've been ignoring, all the food, deep leafy greens and the pecans and some other things in there that I haven't eaten in a while. And I threw them all in there. I don't know how it's going to taste. I don't care how it's going to taste because I don't drink this to taste. I drink this because y'all can't seem to want to get away from this idea of nuclear war. All right, hold on. Cover your ears. Oh, you know what? Oh, man. This ain't going to work. You know what I need? I forgot what I needed. I didn't bring everything I needed to make my smoothie. I know, wasting your time. He's fool making a smoothie on camera. I'm trying to figure out if the world about to end. He's making a smoothie. When you learn, hold on. You have to learn that weak people, they don't tell their government anything. Dependent people, they have no demands of their government. But people who drink their smoothies, they do. Let me get a little water. I didn't put no water. You gotta get water in your smoothie. Water's important. Hold on a second. All righty. Let's see if this will do it. I know all kind of craziness this morning. Let's see if this will do it. Nah. Where's my top at? Put your top on the blender on the top of it when you make stuff. I do that all the time. I don't put the top on it. Man, bad stuff happens. Splash up in your face. Oh yeah, that's grinding. That's looking good. All right. Woo! The end of the world. That's thick too. All right, there we go. Oh man, that's real thick. That'll choke a horse. All right, that's thick, man. That's, ooh, Lord, yes. It's brown, too. Can y'all see this? Brown and purplish. This is good. This is a choke a horse. Get your smoothie in the morning. Get a lot of it. It's delicious. And because when the end of the world comes, people will pop it in my iodine pills and no, don't run. You can't run from no radiation. Don't run. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to stay right here with us with the radiation. So I just want to be ready for the end of the world. Drink my smoothie. Hold on. That's thick. That's sucker down. All right. What we got going on? How's everybody doing this morning? The world ain't end, but it's about to end because Russia finally said, damn it, I accept your challenge. You want an arms race? Punk, you got one. And so Putin went out there and he revealed all of well, he didn't reveal all of the weapons. He revealed the old weapons. Keep this in mind. Everything that he says, these are old weapons. This stuff they didn't had for a minute. This is stuff probably prior to the last 20 years the United States corporation been trying to get them in a Cold War. And I think what I'm gonna have to start doing is being a little more expletive. Is that a word? Expletive? No, because they call me explicit. I'm explicit. That's not the right word. What's the right word? I got to be a little more honest about what we are, truthful, more descriptive. So Russia is responding to the United States corporation. Responded and they agreed hold on. Challenge. The United States corporation wants a war with Russia. They're the ones who want the Cold War. America doesn't want it. Americans, this is where y'all international people, you don't know, Americans, we over here screaming. We like, ah! We drinking smoothies, we scared to death. America, we don't want no Cold War. We don't want none of that nonsense. This is all the United States corporation. In fact, I'm gonna have to bring a sister on here to talk about that in another couple days. Soon as she get ready, trying to get her ready, Sister Jessica, come on, explain to you what the United States corporation is. We are no longer a republic. We are a corporate, well, not we, but we live under. There was a corporate coup in America. They took over. I can't explain the details because I know I'm going to mess it up if I say it because I hate saying things are untrue. You say things too quick. You don't know what you're talking about. The people make it look stupid. That's the problem with videos now. They go back, take all your videos, compile them together. That's why I say, you know what? I change my mind every damn day. That's right. You said something different yesterday. Good. I'm going to change it tomorrow too. Because when you discover new information, you're supposed to, go ahead and release the new information. Let your mind change. Good to be wrong. Drink my smoothie. Y'all scaring the hell out of me. Mm. 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 Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, drink your smoothie, people. If you're not strong and you can't run, you don't know how to, you can't drive. Strong people, independent people who are healthy, they can tell their government where to go. They can tell corporations where to go. Weak people who are dependent on medications and drugs and infrastructure and all this stuff, they can't tell anybody a damn thing. So focus on living natural. This is why I keep going back to it. People, plant your seeds, eat raw, healthy. When you plant your garden, eat raw from your garden. Don't take it and cook it. Put it in the blender, blend it up and eat that stuff. It's good for you. It's delicious. And it'll prevent you from falling to all these ailments that'll get you voting the wrong way. It'll get you scared. You got to be healthy. So I got my smoothie. They trying to scare me this morning. So look at this. Let's look what Putin talks. So Putin finally reacted. Posted was a good discussion on RT about it this morning, where he was kind of explaining America been looking for a Cold War. The summary, it was good. At the end, they kind of summarized it. It was a good talk on RT, and they basically said, finally, you got it. So now, finally, United States Corporation, because I messed up and said America, United States Corporation wants a war with Russia, and Russia said, finally, let's do this. We should all be very scared. I'm not scared though, but we should be scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared because I have too many funny friends. That's my problem. I got too many people who make jokes and stuff, and I can't be serious. I want to be scared at the end of the world. I want to be scared. I don't want to be breathing in no radiation. But my friends always got jokes. But anytime I get scared, I go look at my thread and I see something, I just start laughing. I'm just like, oh my God, you people. We all gonna die. We all gonna, but we all gonna die anyway. It's not about how you die. It's about how you live. It's about what you do when you live, what you stood for. It's like a lot of y'all mad at people call themselves patriots. Don't mistake. Listen to me. Listen, because I say patriot and everybody already, oh, he talking about the right. He talking about the right. No, I'm not. There are two different kind of patriots in the United States that are crazy as hell. And the two different kind of patriots are, you got patriots for America, which is the republic. They believe in freedom, and they actually do believe in a little bit of democracy, but mostly republic, freedom, don't touch nobody, liberty, liberal. Like, they really believe in all these things. Don't tell people what to do. Don't tell them how to live. Don't be looking in their underwear. What's in their underwear is their business, not your business. Stay out their yard. Stay out their religion. Stay out their atheism. Leave them the hell alone. Stay out their schools. That's what those people, those are patriots of America. And you got patriots of the United States Corporation. So you got patriots of America. They're on both sides, right? You got them on the right, left. They're all different types. They're just people who believe. They're Muslim, they're Christian, they're atheists, they're everything. They're people who just believe, leave other people alone. Let them live their lives. Let them self-determine. Then you got the patriots of the United States Corporation. These some dangerous mofos, y'all. These the dangerous ones. These the dangerous ones that keep talking the bullshizzle, right? These are the ones who, no matter what the United States Corporation does, it's okay, right? I always talk about Yemen because we can't let people stop talking about Yemen. The fact is, I don't want to hear anything about anything you got to say about peace, love, and some poor children being shot if you don't give a damn about Yemen. If you don't give a damn about Yemen, I don't give a damn about what you're saying. I care about the kids that are shot. I care about all kids that are shot, but I don't give a damn about your selective shotism, your selective warfareism, your selective violence, where one group of people is better than the other. It's called racism and hate. And yes, you can be all different races and be a racist. Yes, you can. You can be a nationalist, racist bastard. I love you, though. I love you. I just don't think your brain doing what it's supposed to. So there's a difference. So you got patriots for the United States Corporation that's in America, that's occupied America, and you could be on the left and you could be on the right, and you don't care about these things. Like what they were talking about, there are 130 children that die in Yemen every single day to malnutrition. 130. That's about 5 classrooms where a shooter did not miss a child. So if you just want to talk about selective murdering of children, then you and I, we really don't have a whole lot to talk about. But if you want to talk about we need to bring a peaceful world across the board, okay. So that to me, that's the difference. I think, you have Patriots of America, but Patriots of America, they have everything in common with Patriots of Russia. They got everything in common with Patriots in Mexico. They got everything in common with Patriots of Canada. If you are a patriot and you stand for your local community, sustainable, whatever you call it, your community, your state, your nation, your region, your whatever, you believe in freedom for humanity. You understand that you got to have, everything has to be strong at the local level, in terms of taking care of everybody before you get into trade, before you go and do all this international stuff. That's why I don't understand people talk about these trade agreements, trade war. Oh, Trump's going to start a trade war. He's going to start a trade war. And I'm just here, listen, dummy, do you listen to yourself? Because you just posted 3 months ago about shop small. You just posted about shop local and sustainability and save the planet and the environment. And now you're mad at Trump because he's using a sustainability tool called a tariff to bring about what you call a trade war because your leaders tell you it's a bad idea. And what they're really not telling you is that it's a lie. Trade war is a good thing. It's called sustainability. It's called buy local. It's called building up small local businesses so they don't work with you in the cubicle cotton plantations, so they have more say in their life, so they got a little money. They can help fund a politician or something and bring about more freedom. We could have more freedom in the world if you had more empowered small business owners and less people who work for these corporations that make the bombs, the guns, the bullets, the everything, the tanks and the wheel bearings in the tanks and all of these things. If you had less people who work for these big corporations that buy the government, that make it okay to go to war, even the ones not related to war, you can work for a cotton company. I mean, I think y'all work for cotton companies, but you can work for a cotton company. You make cotton puffs. But what's cotton puffs got to do with war? Well, because corporations are buying the government. They buy the legislators. Every last industry has the groups that they buy. And so they buy the legislators so Americans have less say. And if Americans have less say, then they can't tell their government what to do. So yes, the cotton puff companies also are the enemy. You shouldn't be working for them. You shouldn't be buying their crap. You shouldn't be supporting them because they're also taking the ability for the anti-war groups to say, no, damn it, we want our damn government back. We are Republican. Did I say Republican? We're a Republic. So that's the difference. Difference in United States corporation, patriots, and Patriots of America, Patriots of a Republic, which is what we are. You leave everybody the hell alone. Get out their drawers. Not your business what's in there, what they do with it, where they put it, how they put it. God gave everybody the right to do what they want to do with their own business. Leave them alone. All right, so I'm drinking my smoothie. End of the world is coming, so my body can fight off the radio. Yeah, and I drink this whole thing. All right, so let's look at what's going on. It's kind of crazy, but this is the deal. Russia's finally done with y'all. Finally done with the Patriots of the United States of America, or the Patriots of the United States Corporation of America. And this is what's going on.
As evidence of Russia's interference in America's elections continues to mount, the Russian president this morning used his annual State of the Union address to warn Washington against militarily messing with Russia, revealing a range of new weapons, threatening to turn tensions with Washington into a new Cold War that could get hot. Russia this morning is flexing its military muscle, unveiling a new line of nuclear weapons that it claims can reach almost anywhere in the world and would render American defense systems useless. Saying nobody listened to us, so listen to us now. In his marathon State of the Union speech ahead of this month's presidential election, President Vladimir Putin's message to Washington was loud and clear. And I am not bluffing. The new weapons include a nuclear-powered underwater drone and a nuclear-powered cruise missile, difficult to detect and Russia claims impossible to intercept. But Putin says that Russia is not the aggressor, blaming the new arms race on America's decision to pull out of the 1972 anti-ballistic missile treaty and for building new bases close to Russia's borders. Now, Putin also said that Moscow would regard a nuclear attack on its allies as an attack on Russia itself and would immediately respond. And Savannah, this comes as President Donald Trump set the date for his military campaign for next Veterans Day, that is November 11th. Both sides seemingly set on flexing their military muscle as tensions continue to mount. Savannah?
All right, Lucy, thank you.
So if you feel that you're safe, you feel that the World War III is going to be a fun little Twitter war where you can go and critique the president on Twitter. You can fight with your friends on Twitter. You think you're going to watch the next war on social media and the television? You're not. You absolutely are not. You're going to be suffering, crying, dying with me, running in the woods, forest, trying to breathe, find some oxygen, air, taking iodine shots, can't find nothing to make a smoothie. It's going to be nasty. So think about this. He's actually telling us what he has because he's so far beyond it. They don't release what they're actually working on. He understood that America had Star Wars program, the Star Wars program since the 80s. They've been shooting missiles out of the sky, so he's not doing ballistic missiles. They have the drone nuclear submarine. There is no way you can stop that. They even have that submarine they talked about in the 2016 he released. They have a submarine that actually can mimic any other submarine. It uses an electromagnetic device to make its sub look like an American sub. It can make its sub look like two subs. It can make its sub look like a smaller non-nuclear sub. It can make its nuclear subs look like just regular subs, and the regular subs look like nuclear subs. They can fool us and play with us because the water, we suck in the water, y'all. We don't do good. The water just never was a great place for warfare, which is why we didn't do a whole lot of it. It sucks down there because you got all this water stuff. We fight in air. We do well fighting in air. So, how does that relate to you? And I'm kind of talking to the neocons. I'm kind of talking to the patriots of the United States Corporation of America. See, now we're in this place where the United States Corporation of America, the United States Corporation in America is getting desperate. And so their wars are being shut down all over the planet. Peace is starting to break out. North Korea and South Korea talking. No way in hell North Korea is going to denuclearize. Why in the hell would they do that? That's just dumb as a bag of bricks. If you watch The Walking Dead is a documentary. It was on last night. If you lay down your weapons and you're unequal, they're going to shoot the hell out you. Never give up your weapons first when you're being faced with an aggressor. That's why I don't care about none of your gun control. When the aggressor, when they're armed, you better be. So let the aggressor, if the aggressor believes in gun control and nuke control so much, let them denuclearize first. So North Korea ain't giving up nothing. Kim Jong dumb some ill. The dumb is in his name, but he's not that dumb. The brother's smart. He understands this. So is Russia. Russia's making it very clear and honest and straight to the point. If you shoot a nuke, I don't care how small. He said this. He was verbatim. He said, you shoot a nuke, I don't care how small, but it was in Russia, so it kind of sounded like, sounded kind of funny. He said, if you shoot a nuke, I don't care how small, we will shoot back. And to further clarify what he talked about, so for him though, and he's smart. He's smart. No, don't get me as some sort of Putin sympathizer. I'm not a Putin sympathizer, but that brother's smart. Because his point was, we're not going to equate the world destruction nuclear arsenal that America has and is constantly working on. We're just going to do just enough to do enough devastation to prevent you from using them. Smart as the day is long. He is hitting from just multiple angles of getting people to understand this is a bad idea. We don't want to be in a Cold War. We're tired of you isolating us. Now you didn't change your nuclear policy where you can strike first. We're not going to tolerate it. And I know the first thing people like to do, they don't say it with me no more. I don't know why. They don't say it to me, but they'll say, Jack, Trump going to end the world. Trump, he did. And I'm just sitting here like, no, brother, because the last president did it too. All presidents do it, which is why if you have a brain on your shoulders, you should be processing that fact that American presidents are not making these decisions. There's a board of people somewhere who we will never get to meet, who don't even drive on our streets, who fly around in Dubai on building tops and drones because they don't want to walk with the commoners. Did you know in the United Arab Emirates, they see the damn clouds once a week because they just feel like they want it to rain because they got that bunch of damn money? That I'm not gonna get into my damn stuff from yesterday. I had a whole bunch of damn stuff. I didn't have enough time. I had 100 dams I was gonna say yesterday. I said damn. I can say that. That's not cussing. So that was Putin's position. His position is that I'm not going to be as ignorant as the United States Corporation of America in America. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to have enough so that you won't survive a nuclear attack with us. And further clarify, not only that, but our allies. So if you actually change your nuclear policy to attack North Korea, we will shoot our nuclear weapons. If you attack Iran, we will shoot our nuclear weapons. If you attack us, which is a great position. I love this brother to death. I do. He's crazy as all hell. He's an oligarch. They suspect he's a trillionaire because you can't actually count all his money. Crooked, crazy, blind, stupid. But in this scenario, he's spot on. The only way you stop an aggressor is mutually assured destruction. And so the good thing is we're kind of going back to that. It's not a great thing. It's a good thing. War is never good. So I'm going to jump over to Moscow. I'm talking about y'all Russian hate for a minute. Why the hell y'all hate Russia anyway? Why y'all so just got your panties and your drawers up in a bunch? I don't get why y'all so upset. Russia beautiful, man. I'm in Moscow. They make buildings that look like the Smurf buildings. Y'all remember the Smurf? How can you hate a people that got your genetics and they put colorful stuff all over their building like that? Isn't that pretty? You know, it's just pretty. Why are you so upset with these people? I don't really get it. Like, if you let me show you the picture. Let me show you. I'm gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you this. This is what's crazy. Sometimes, like, hold on. I'm gonna leave Russia for a minute. Let me show you something. This crazy. Look at this right here. Why the hell you worried about Russia? And man, we done had giants on this planet. Do you see this? Look at this mess. Look at this. Is anybody looking at this? Is this microphone on? Do y'all realize we had giants on this damn planet and you worry about Russia? You should be worried about if them giants come back. You're supposed to, yes, Brother Jack, you're supposed to have a balance of power. But you know, if the giants come back that made all them damn megaliths, ain't gonna be no balance of power. I kind of think that we might have bigger issues in this world. I kind of think that we might have bigger problems than trying to go pick a fight with somebody that's got a nuclear arsenal we don't want to mess with. All right, I know. I'm not gonna go into archaeology, but y'all know they found giant evidence all over this planet. That's what I want to talk about, but I can't talk about that because we in silly Russian land. People want to fight with Russia, and I don't understand this. But this is like the understanding that I'm getting. That there are people, because I guess you call them neocons. I guess that's how the Republicans and Democrats who are like pro-war, and they think that they get to survive the war. You don't, dummy. You dying with us. It's a good idea for you not to support that. It's a good idea that we push back towards a republic. Brother Andrew said, what did he say? They got diversity-loving liberals to be racist towards other white people. Ooh, Brother Andrew, you bringing out the cuts, ain't you? You ain't playing, huh? You gonna start this early? Well, I got you some calls before I answer that one. Oh Lord, y'all can get me in trouble. It's too early, Andrew. Why you do that, man? But it is, and it's true. And this is why I originally got in trouble. I started making these videos because here's the fact. We need strong people. We need people with pride in themselves and who they are, no matter what they come from, no matter if they're proud of their skin color, their ethnicity, one of the ethnicities or all of them. We need proud, strong people. We don't need to strong arm people the same way an abuser does in an abusive relationship. And to me, Andrew, that's my analogy when it comes to the hatred that it does seem to come strong from the liberal side, the left side. I don't like to call them liberals because they don't believe in liberty, but they have an anger and a hatred for white males. And I don't process that, and I don't get this. And how is this related to the whole Russia issue and World War? If we're not united as a people, for bigger issues, for the big picture, nuclear war, and us all dying, horrible deaths, vomiting and diarrhea and all over each other, breathing in the sick air. If we can't unite and stop that because we're not, gotta look for the right word, because I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm just simply saying this. Racism is racism. There is no well-meaning racism. It's just racism. And I hear a lot of people talking, and I wish they would stop it, but it's these handed down talking points where they blame white men for everything that's happened in the world. And to me, it's a symptom of a lot of things I won't get into. But we need strong little, okay, this is where I'm put it this way. So they have commercials where they talk about this. They're actually on television. They'll talk about how the white man this and the white man that. And I grew up that way. So yeah, excuse me for a second. I grew up that way. That's why I was indoctrinated. Blame the white man for everything. The reality is it's the 0.01%. And the 0.01% comes in all flavors, all colors, all ethnicities, all religions, and they're psychopaths. They are the problem. They're the ones behind the slave trade. They're the ones behind colonization. They're the ones behind World War III. They're the ones who own the United States corporation that's operating in America, in Washington. They're the ones who tell presidents what to do. That is your enemy. We need these little, I hate these race words, but Andrew done sent me in trouble land early, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This process, you're a little, all right, I'm gonna say it a different way. You're a little black kid. You're growing up watching TV. And on television, there are commercials that talk about how black men are what's wrong with the world. And you just watching TV. Like, oh, I'm bad. I'm what's wrong with the world. Oh, I should hit myself with a pain stick. So really? So mommy, I'm no good. I'm worthless. I'm evil. Okay, mommy. Damn it. Maybe I'll become evil. You know, picture it in the same way. Imagine a little white kid, little white boys specifically, because y'all like to attack white males specifically. Watching TV, same thing. White men and what's wrong with the world. If you didn't get the same disgust when you hear that one way or another, there's something wrong with you. Love you to death, but you might want to work on that. That's called racism. That little feeling, the difference that you feel, it's called racism. You don't know. We need young white boys, black boys, Asian boys, Hispanic boys, the girls. We need all of them to come up with pride. We need all of them to see a world of human beings that love them for who they are and don't blame them for something they had nothing damn to do with. If we don't have that, World War, I'm gonna go back to, we gotta go ahead. If we don't have that, this is our future. This is our future. Let me get rid of the broadcaster. Let me hide her. This is our future. If we continue to divide up on these dumb, silly, well-meaning hate and racism, and it's for the other side too, because there's some real racism that's out there too. But the problem is, and why I tend to critique the left a lot with it, is because when I see racism and hatred come from one side, I say the right, we know where a lot of that comes from. We know that comes from poverty, and that can be solved. And there's a lot of it that comes, let's be fair, it's a lot that comes from the left too, and the stuff that comes, and it comes from poverty too. Someone grew up in a trailer park, the other grew up in a ghetto, they grew up with a bunch of hatred for the world because the world is completely unfair and it's done them wrong. And then somebody comes along and tells them who they're supposed to hate for. But then you have educated people from the left who push the racism thing too. And that's the real problem I have. Kids who grow up in impoverished communities, I get why they became what they did. And I love them to death and I want to pull them out of that. And we need to help them. But people who know better, people who can read, write, and listen to a neuroscientist, listen to a behavioral scientist, and realize, one, that it's all false. It's all about poverty and scarcity, that these people don't hate you for your skin. They don't care anything about that. But two, the skin color, the DNA has nothing to do with whether or not they had something to do with colonization and slavery and all of that. So Brother Andrew, you get me in trouble all early. I'm getting off of that. I don't want to talk about that, but it is a divisive topic. And it's the analogy I have for that is kind of like a husband who's abusing their wife, right? It's the same thing on the slave plantations. This is what they did to the slaves. They took away their pride. They took away their voice. They convinced them they're supposed to be slaves. They're supposed to be subservient. An abusive husband who beats his wife convinces her that you deserve this. You somehow deserve to take this. And it creates this psychological condition where one group controls another. We don't get to survive that way. We don't get to survive that way. And the best example I have is Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King did not say, come on, white people, get behind me. Don't talk, don't say nothing. Y'all was wrong with the world. He didn't do that. He understood that equality is how this works. And we got to be smart enough to stop reinventing the stupid wheel. That wheel's already been invented. We know how to combat racism. It's not with anger and hatred, and it's not making the other side feel like they're foul. So please do me a favor. Please, and Brother Andrew got me in trouble on that one. Please do me a favor. Stop talking racist. Please stop. It's not helping. We got more important, bigger issues to resolve. So we're going to keep going. I heard they're rolling out new intense censorship. Censorship's not going to stop. Same thing. Same thing. You can't have truth, you know, Kimberly, you can't have truth coming out when they're walking us into a new arms race, right? Because it's important to them. I don't think that they want a world war. They just want to sell a lot of bombs and weapons and guns. They don't care. They probably want to cull back the 99% because there's a whole lot of them. We're not overpopulated, but it's too many of them for the wealth they want to acquire. Like I was talking to someone the other day, we were talking about overpopulation. We're not overpopulated. You just go online and do a search. You can go, don't go to Google because that's, you know, that's just Skynet. Go to Ecosia and type in, are we overpopulated? Is the world overpopulated? And you will find out the research and the studies show that the planet based on old technology can support 100 billion human beings. We're nowhere near overpopulated. What we are is there's too damn many of us. That's the best way to put it. Because with so many of us, it means that it's harder to be a multiple trillionaire. It's harder for the 100 billionaires to hit that trillionaire level. If it's so many of us, they need to reduce that so they can collect more. And plus, it's less of us to object to anything. Let me see what we got. Isn't that what cable news is? I'm not sure. Isn't that what cable news is? Brother Andrew, I missed that. Brother John, one race, one human race. We are one race. We are one race. Geneticists have proven that time and time again. Race is an invention of very wealthy people to get dumb people divide up in art. Not dumb people. That's the wrong. I'm sorry. People who don't really understand that the railroad tycoons and the 0.01%, in order to invade Africa, they had to convince people that they're different. They had to give them a race. They had to call them pagans. Otherwise, the majority of people in Britain and Europe never, hell no, I ain't go. Why would I go down there? They got mosquitoes and there's swamps and lions and tigers. Hell no, ain't no tigers up here in Europe. I ain't going down there. But they convinced them because they convinced them that these people are different. They're a different color. They're pagans. You can go down there and we're going to bring them Jesus. We're going to murder a whole bunch of them and expose them to beautiful Christianity. So, you know, but the thing is, if we view ourselves, like Brother John said, if we view ourselves as one human race, one planet, we can't replace the human race and we can't replace the planet. Then you stop fighting over these silly little things, right? You let go of this idea of race and nationalism and silly, dumb stuff. And you see 130 Yemen kids being killed every single day for malnutrition is no different than 130 American kids being shot in a school shooting. And your brain starts to process humanity the correct way. If we can stop dividing over these things, if we can stop giving away our power, that's effectively what division does. It gives away the power of the majority so we can't stop these billionaires that keep walking us into these wars. If Americans and people throughout the West stood up and said, you know what, we're done with this Yemen thing, we're done tolerating it. This would get the United States corporation, which is not dumb, right? The United States corporation, unlike America, they believe in the republic and rights and leaving people alone. But the United States Corporation of America believes in profit. Anything that stops that profit is a bad thing. Right now, nothing stops that profit. So they're full steam ahead on every continent, murdering as many people they can to make as much money as they can for the markets and the corporations. And how you pull that back is you show them, you know what, we're done. We're not going to buy any of your crap no more. We're not going to vote for your people no more. We're not going to show up at your rallies. Oh my God, Cory Booker, he was talking about his marijuana act yesterday. And I'm just like, Brother West put it on my page. I was like, Booger? You trust big pharmaceutical Booger to actually give a marijuana act nationally that's going to do something? I'm scared of everything he does. I'm going to stop cheering these people because I know who they work for, right? We can shut down the United States corporation. And once they realize we're not going to make a lot of money because the people not dumb anymore. The people aren't talking race and religion anymore. The people aren't talking gender specifics anymore. The people aren't dividing up. So they're not scared of terrorism. They get that terrorists are just poor people in other nations we're trying to rob. And when people back away from that, the United States corporation will come to the bargaining table. Right now, they ain't got to come to the table. They sit there laughing. They're just laughing. You're like, you dumb and stupid as the day is long. And I'm going to send your kids to war. I'm going to get them murdered. I'm going to get them murdering other people. And I'm going to make a whole lot of money doing it. But when you actually do the opposite of what they want, when you don't go shop, which is what Bush talked about after 9/11, when you show them that, nope, I'm not going to work for you. Edward Snowden, hero, I'm a step away. I'm going to tell the truth because you're lying. And I'm not going to buy your products. 64% of Americans have Amazon Prime. Why is that a good thing? Why do you do that? Oh, so you don't have to drive to town. I get it. You're an hour away from it. But we got bigger problems than that. Jeff Bezos, the amount of money this dude has, and you're right. Do you know that he has his own damn rocket launch pad? He has a... How much money does he didn't want to deal with Cape Canaveral and go drive all the way to Florida? Hell no. I think it's what is it, either in Texas or California. He made his own damn rocket launch pad and he's got his own rockets. You know, and so that 64% of Amazon Prime people in America, maybe that should go down to 50%. Maybe it should go down to 45, but I don't think it will. I don't think it will, which is why I'm laughing. Because no, it's going to go up to 72. Because Americans, unfortunately, life is too good in America. And this is to the rest of the world, so you can kind of understand psychologically why people support this stuff that they do and to buy all of this crap and junk off of Amazon instead of diversifying, you know, forcing others to come to the surface. It just has to do with the fact that they're dependent on all of this. They're lazy and they believe in it. Hang on. I gotta plug in. I came in, I got started. I didn't even plug in this morning. I gotta plug laptops in to keep them working. You know, but they believe this stuff. They believe what the corporations say. They won't speak out against them because they spent 10 years going to college to get a degree and they're building up a life and they're building up a mortgage and they won't stop and think, well, maybe I need to try to think about being a little sustainable. Like my power was out for 24 hours and I always have fun when the power goes. I mean, I don't like it. Don't say that I like it when the power goes out. But for me, we used to watch Doomsday Preppers, the kids and I. We had a lot of fun with that. And so after the power comes back on, I rate myself. You know, at the end of the show, they always have a little rating. Always rate. How did I do with power? How did I do with food? How did I do with water and preservative? Like, it's fun for me. But also, it's a good exercise. It's a good exercise for the power to go out. When we were kids, the power used to go out all the time, and it actually would remind you what you're supposed to do. If you've got a heating stove and it's wintertime and the power goes out, damn it, you go get some logs. Do you remember where the logs come from? Do you know how to chop them? You know, do you have a couple logs by the side of your house that are under a tarp so that they're easily burnable in case the power does go out in the winter? And this isn't about the end of the world, end of the world in World War III, but it's about sustainability and strength and being strong. What if the people did stand up tomorrow? What if magically, look at this. What if magically we all came together? We all finally got what President Putin is trying to tell every damn body about the United States corporation that's invading the world. And we all got together and said, you know what? That's it. We're done. We know that you're not white men. We know that you're not black men, but we know you're the 0.001%. You know what I do? If I like to put myself in other people's shoes. You know what I do if I was the 0.01%? I'd be like, you mother, what? You had the ability to stand up to me. Are you kidding me? Like my kids, they stage rebellions all the time. They like to gang up on me. There's a whole bunch of little bastards in the house. They try to gang up on me because they compare notes like velociraptors testing the fence. I said, what? All right, so I'm gonna look and say, you know what? Wait a minute. I done made water illegal to collect. I done made kettle stoves in certain areas illegal to use. I have a law, the Patriot Act, where I can go get them and put them in prison anytime I want for any damn thing I want. I have all of these abilities to shut these people down. I have the acts that say that I own everything that they own in the time of national crisis. I say no. I got an internet kill switch. I can turn your power off anytime I want to. I can shut the water off. And I know, don't get into Trump. I got a lot of Trump friends that are like, Trump wouldn't do that to us. You know, same way they're like Obama. Obama wouldn't do that to us. It's not his decision. Okay? We're talking about the United States corporation of the corrupt world. I would just shut the power off. I shut the water off. I hit the internet kill switch. And I guarantee you, 99% of America would be like, it's okay. You can starve Yemen. You can do whatever you want in Palestine. You can murder all the Africans you want. Just turn the power back on. I can't watch the Grey's Anatomy. You know. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. I can't watch The Walking Dead. No, just turn it back on. I don't know what to do. It's back okay. It's Carl gonna make it. But you know what? But you know, there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. You gotta be strong, people. You have to be strong. We can pull this stuff back, you know, but we have to start to have the mindset our grandparents had, some of your parents had, which is, listen, I love this stuff. I love my power, my Wi-Fi, and the water and all that. But if things go wrong, if we actually rediscover our humanity and love and stand up for the people around the world that are being oppressed by all of this, if we, especially those of us who come from recent slavery, all of us came from some slavery, I don't care who you are, but recent slavery, if we stop supporting slavery and these cell phones and laptop computers and cars, and we stand up and say, you know what? No. You have to be strong enough to make it a real no. And right now, they know that you're not. They know that you don't know how to grow food. They know that you don't have no seeds. They know that you can't get water anywhere. And they know you're just going to plummet the whole United States into chaos. And it's probably Britain too. Britain, y'all, I give y'all they're a little smarter than us, slightly, a little bit. But Americans, we are completely unsustainable in every way. And this gets back to the trade agreements. That's why I don't believe in them. These things are a mess. They need to go away. You know, y'all need to trade within your own little communities. And that's how your communities get some strength. You know, so, all right, let me go back to the comment. I'm off. I'm off. If anyone joined late, what we're talking about, you go back, watch from the beginning. We were talking about, you know, how it's crazy how this is all related, though. That Russia finally responded. Ooh, I do want to kind of play you a clip, though. So before I do that, Russia finally responded and they revealed some of their technology, making it obvious that if we attack their allies, they will bring about World War III. I do want to play you a clip, though. I want to play a clip before I get too deep into the comments. There was a great crosstalk discussion this morning.
I'm joined in the studio by Geert Wilders, Dutch politician.
And it's not that one. I posted it on my thread. Oh, man, I love crosstalk. Peter Lavelle, they don't pull any punches, man. They go right to the business. They get right to the business. They talk about the truth. And he brings different people on to debate all different sides and get to yell, holler, scream, act silly. Actually, I'm gonna start doing that. I secretly been putting together a group of people who are gonna start speaking up, and I already got a couple friends that are already speaking up. We're gonna start having some discussions, y'all. We're gonna start doing a little bit of crosstalk and bringing up a couple more discussions. But look at this. I'm gonna show you this. Ooh, am I prepared? Man, it's always daggone commercials. I hate that commercial. Did y'all? I'm not showing it because I ain't showing it. I don't like Microsoft AI. They keep showing that commercial. Is anybody noticing this? If they keep showing the commercial over and over and over and over, then people start to get used to it. They're like, oh, Maybe AI is going to build our future. Maybe AI is a good thing. You know, maybe, just maybe, AI is just a tool, in which it is. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not. It's just that we're not in a place where we actually can determine who uses the AI. We're not in control of it. It's not our tool. You know, it's spying on us. It's watching us. It's calculating when to start the war. You know, this game from, what was it? I think it was Andrew posted that. Was it War Games quote from the 80s? Want to play a game? Right? Like, that's a bad thing. That's bad. You don't ever want to hear that. All right, hold on. I'm gonna show you this. I'm not gonna show you all of it. It was a long discussion, but it was all to bless you. Watch it. Watch the discussion. I'm gonna take right about here. Watch this. Hold on.
Protest camping near the Ukrainian parliament. 100 people were arrested. More than in November 2013 when Yanukovych disbanded, basically swept out the first Maidan. But at the time, Yanukovych got threats of sanctions. Now Poroshenko is getting anti-tank missiles for that.
You have to be almost a specialist in Eastern European affairs in Ukraine, even to know what you just said, Dima,
yes.
Is it gets no coverage whatsoever.
Absolutely. But there are also a few other facts that I just wanted to mention. The American negotiator on Ukraine, Kurt Volker, suggested to disband Donetsk People's Republic and Lugansk People's Republic. He forgot to mention that these entities would have never sprung up if it hadn't been for the US-supported regime change in Ukraine in 2014. So it's the same story as in for example, Syria. Why is there ISIS? Because you supported the civil war against Assad. Why is there ISIS in Iraq? Because you invaded in 2003. If it hadn't been for the US invasion in 2003, the Al-Qaeda and ISIS would have stayed in Afghanistan. And in Afghanistan, they were because you supported the Afghan Mujahideen.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Mark. You know, and I don't want to talk about it in length because we'll do it later. But the Iraqi parliament passed a resolution that they want all foreign troops out of their country.
It's important to, so we're talking about the Ukraine for a little bit. Good discussion. And so it's basically like, you did this. You created all of these terrorist groups. You are the problem. We were surrounding Russia, and this is why Russia is pissed off. We're arming these groups. Do you know right now, hold on, what is the name of the group? The Azov Battalion. Do you know right now, The Guardian had a news release where they explained that they're off the Azov Battalion recruiting neo-Nazis in the UK right now, getting them off the street, getting them to training, and taking them to the UK to go fight for America. Do you American interest? Do you process the craziness that America has a group called Antifa, anti-fascist, and they're paying their taxes, they're working for the corporations and everything, and those corporations are taking that money and they're actually giving it to Azov, where they're off hiring neo-Nazis and getting them help, giving them flags, giving them tiki torches, getting them excited and mad to go fight in the UK and the Ukraine. Like, do you like process? It's like a brother, I forgot the brother said the other day, he said, you know, we go to these marches protesting corporations, which occupy movement, and people are showing up with brand new shoes and nice cell phones and the latest iPhone 10, and like they're not really processing. You know, if you can't do root cause analysis, if you can't drill down to be effective and look at what the actual problem is, 9 times out of 10, you're the problem. Because they know if you're not smart enough to look down at all the layers and look at the problem. So I found it crazy. I found that to be interesting. And where are we at? I think somewhere I wanted to show something else. I think it was 34 minutes in. So 34 minutes in is at the end. They only show certain parts on YouTube and the others in the live broadcast. And I'll post the links. You can watch the whole thing. I'm almost done.
Recognized by the U.S.'s government as Al-Qaeda. It's Ahrar al-Sham, which is an Al-Qaeda splinter group, radical Salafist jihadist sponsored by Saudi Arabia. It is Jaish al-Islam, which is also a Salafist radical group sponsored by Saudi Arabia. And we throw in one Islamist group allied with them, supported by the U.S.
Quick question. All of the groups you just mentioned, have you ever heard them mentioned on CNN and MSNBC?
No,
I've never heard them say. Maybe I don't watch it. I don't watch it religiously, so
they're American groups.
No, but again, go back. These are like dissidents with Kalashnikovs. Okay, that.
Right. So these are the terrorists who have the human shields in East Ghouta, right? So Russia's trying to make a humanitarian avenue to get the people out of there. Now, mind you, they're going to save lives doing it. It's the right thing to do, but they're also doing it so the Syrian government can bomb the hell out of the rest of the American terrorists and get them the hell out of there. So all of that is true, but the whole point is that getting the people out's the right thing. And what he's talking about is all the different groups that are American departments and American funded. These are the American terrorists. These are Al-Qaeda that are actually taking human shields in East Ghouta. When you stop supporting this, this is why the world hates you. All right. They hate you because the United States corporation occupied America and you're too silly and just lost in narratives to stand up and say, no, this is a bad World War III is might kind of be a bad idea. All right, let me look at some comments. I'm gonna look at some comments. I pushed a little long this morning, but this was a good discussion. Y'all have to why it was a great discussion, real common sense, basic. They went through the whole trade agreements and Russia's response to the whole Cold War America's been requesting for a very long time. If Russia was doing the stuff we do near the borders of Mexico, we'd already have World War III started. Yes, Brother Joel. And isn't that what happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis? So when Russia did it, bad. When United States Corporation does it, great idea. It's that hypocrisy. American Antifa is a joke. Make resistance. It is. But you know what? But the thing, Jack, the thing though is I feel sorry for them though, because they were walked into it, right? They were walked into it, and now they're listed as a terrorist organization. If you got any kids in Antifa, get them out. If you are in Antifa, get them out. This is why I think the whole Charlottesville thing occurred, Jack, because they knew it was going to happen. They know what size everything you have on. They know what's in your drawers. They see you on the toilet with your smartphone like this, struggling and whatever. They see everything in your bedroom. They see all of that. They knew that Charlottesville was going to happen, and they didn't do anything. It was a choice not to. It's like with the FBI and the shooting in Florida. They knew that was going to happen, but it wasn't the FBI that came out and said, we have a confession to make. This gentleman was reported to us 20 times. They didn't do that. They just sat right back and said a damn thing. It was the people who stood up and said, we told y'all about this dude. Why didn't you do anything? Because they're not on our side. Brother Andrew said, I'm not getting into the false flag. To me, it doesn't matter if any of these things were false flags. It doesn't, it doesn't matter. It's not an important topic for me because what matters is people need to know the truth, right? It's not important to argue with somebody over a false flag. It's not important to me to argue with somebody over vaccines, right? Like I got in this discussion, brother, the other day, where he's a big believer in vaccines. I am not, but I'm not like saying ban them, and I'm not saying whatever. I'm just saying you shouldn't force a product that's untested on people. That's all I'm saying. And so we kind of engaged a little bit. But my point was, you guys, the anti-vaxxers and the vaxxers have one significant thing in common. The common sense ones, the intellectuals do, not the extremists, but the intellect. And what they have in common is it would be a good idea to know the truth about vaccines and have them rigorously tested like we do Twinkies. They both want them tested. So why not, instead of argue about, if vaccines are good or bad, if they cause autism or not, but get together as a bigger group and say, let's get them tested so we can make a good informed damn decision, right? Find out if the whistleblowers were lying or find out if they were telling the truth. And so it's the same thing with the false flag things. For me, I don't want to argue whether it's false flag or not. I don't care. Now, the after effect is always some disaster capitalism. They always come up with gun control and all this stuff that they want to argue about. So they turn it into like a post false flag narrative. But what actually happened on the ground, I wasn't there. But what everybody who cares about the kids, not the extremists, but the people, which I think is the vast majority who care about, they don't want school shootings to happen, whether or not that one was all true or not. They agree. They want to know the truth. So if you take that common ground, put it together, come to this big common ground, and we say, no, you don't get to have any secrets, FBI, when it comes to threats reported in. You don't get to have classified anything because we're not even sure if you're still on our side. We think you work for the United States Corporation of America and not for America, the Republic. And so because of that, you don't get to have any secrets. And then guess what? Then you can go out to a database and do a search. Who's reported? What is the FBI looking into in my children's school? And then you can move to an area and say, you know what? I don't think I want my kids to go to that school. It says they get high rated test scores and all this good stuff, but there's a whole lot of death threats and bombs and craziness, drug arrests. That's your information. You paid for that. It makes no sense that an intelligence agency that can keep that from you so you can't make a good decision. And this is what I think all sides and all debates, certainly in America and most of the West, where the media owns everything and it's owned by just a few corporations, is you're not allowed to know the truth. So you can't actually make a good decision. So find that common ground. Don't argue about the details that none of us really know. Force the truth to come out. If we knew all the truth, then no, these vaccine companies couldn't hide what they're doing. We could see if there were links to autism, if he was telling the truth. And we wouldn't, we could make a good decision, say, you know what? I'll get the MMR, but I'm not going to get it age 1 to 3 because I have an African-American child. He's got some African-American genetics in him. He looks white, but he's not. And so because he does, and you're saying that it increases autism 300%, I'm not going to give it to him till they're after 3. Isn't that a good idea? How about that? How about that instead of fighting with people over it? How about that? All right, let me go to the comments. I got to scroll back down. Your survival rating goes from 6.6 to 6.8, brother Glenn. Yes, that's exactly what I do. The power comes back on. How do we do? How do we do? Now, of course, the boys and I, we used to have a wind turbine. We didn't generate a lot of power out of that, but it was a fun exercise. We made solar panels. They didn't generate enough, brother, so we got like a low rating. So we put we got an Arduino a microcontroller and wrote some software to make the solar panel track the sun, and moved up and down. Neighbors looking out the window like, the Negroes done gone crazy. But it was on the top of, we had this, that's a long story. It was on top of the gazebo. We had the solar panel turning, but it was fun for us and the kids, because we would watch Doomsday Preppers and it was fun, but it was fun, but it also did a little seriousness in it, right? I laugh at a lot of it, but the reality is, laugh at certain portions and the other portions you need to take serious. Let me see. It says, yes, the power went out when I was a child too. It was the end of the world. We had a plan. Yep, power went out on us, Kimberly, and we actually had it's always good to have a heater in your house. I've got a kerosene heater. Have some kerosene. Have a wood stove. Have something in case. And it's not always World War III. It's just if a disaster happens, if the power goes out. If you have heat, you have water, and you have food, you can hang out in your house for a little while. If you don't have those things, like we had that storm in Philadelphia not too long ago, and people actually, it was like 2 years ago, we had back-to-back 12 storms, and then we had an ice storm. And trees fell everywhere. People in the Philadelphia area without power for almost 2 weeks. People died. There were old people who went to sleep in their bedrooms and died in their bedrooms. There was one guy, I was talking to him. He said, basically, first of all, we were warm. I don't play that. I always make sure I got a backup for everything. But, he said, after the first day, because it was like in the teens, it was really cold too. He said the first day, the house, it stayed around 40. He said by the second day, the house was getting close to the temperature outside. It was around the 30s. And he said by the third day, the house inside was the exact same temperature outside. That's when people die. So always it's good to be prepared. Let me see what else we got. Min said, hello, Gerard. Note to my assistant. Thanks, Nina Caltado. Now it is clear. Oh, now is it clearer to you as to why I banned certain words, race, etc., and relinquishing my power to mainstream media who works for corporations? Hope this makes sense to the multimedia with the required level of intellect in the disinformation age. You ban certain words like race. I mean, I'm with that. Like, I think that when it comes to divisive discussions and words, you do have to delete them. You have to get that out of your system. We got bigger problems. I think I understand what you're saying, and I'm totally in agreement with that, which is why I try to stay away from the divisive topics. And when they come out, I try to take a moderate position. Let's solve the problem, not argue over things that we don't understand or don't know. Like race. It's something we don't understand and we don't know. You know, genetics are just now starting to study the, 13 genes that regulate skin color. But right now, the early research is saying it's just the solar radiation of some damn aliens now. It's solar radiation and the environment that make people look the way they do. And it's just dumb that I would group up with people because of what solar radiation did to people. You know, the best thing I like to say, men to people, I like to say people who, because you got people on the extreme sides. Black people to marry black people. Asian people should marry Asian people. White people should marry white people and keep the races together. You know, and I just sit here and just like, you dummy, you don't even know race doesn't exist. If you take all those extreme people and you leave them in North America for 1,000 years, they'll all look like Native Americans. That's just the fact. It's just genetic science and fact and evolution and epigenetics and what solar radiation does to your skin. So you could be extreme as you want. Blue-eyed, blonde hairs, keep it in the family. You can be black with afro, you know, foul, whatever. But if you stay here, you're going to look like the indigenous people. That's the voyage we're all on who live here. It's how it works. So if you want to back to Africa, stay that way, you're going to have to go back to Africa. You blue-eyed, blonde hair. I don't know where y'all from, the Caucasus Mountains or something. You got to go find that spot. Because if you stay here with us, we all going to look like Native Americans. Then we all going to say, all right, let me stop. I didn't go down there. I'd go to Amish. I'd go to the Amish if it would happen. Yeah, brother Andrew, I got friends in the Amish. End of the world coming. I already told them. I said, listen, I know where y'all at. If things don't look right, listen, I'm gonna change my name to John Tunstall. Damn it, grow my sideburns. I think I can't grow no hair up here, but I think I can grow me some sideburns. Get me a blue shirt. I guess I got to marry somebody over there, because otherwise, I think that might have to be my way in. I have to marry one of the Amish ladies. I'll marry Sarah or something. I'll be a black Amish. All right, that'll be funny. Oh, goodness. People aspire to be wealthy as if we should emulate them. No, yeah, Kimberly, and that's what they do. And that's why it's a mind screw, taking people and convincing them that it's normal to acquire wealth throughout their lifetime. It's a sick thing. We got to get out of that. Wow, that almost sounds like gaming addiction. Oh, turn my power and Wi-Fi back on. Gabrielle. Yeah, you know what? They did do that. I think I posted that article that the UN is classifying gaming as an addiction, like a mental illness. This is not going the right way, people. We got to come back. There's nothing wrong with Qbert. Qbert got to come back the right way. I was listening to somebody the other day. They were talking about how the video games. They were talking about how the video games are more or less violent now than what they used to be. And he said Qbert. What did he say? Qbert was y'all arcade people. Qbert was like a suicidal dude with a big nose who, when life didn't go right, he committed suicide. And who was he? Donkey Kong, was definitely all about some murder. Frogger was like a frog apocalypse. It was the funniest. I don't know who said it, but there's nothing wrong with video games. Don't fix the video games. Fix the people. Don't ban the guns. Fix the people. Don't, it's just crazy. Don't fight for health care. Fix the people. Like, if we solve the root cause of these problems, we're good. And money and profit and greed is always at the root cause of every damn thing. Yes, trade in your local areas. Thank you, Kimberly. And that's what I was posting about this morning is trade deals are tariffs are tools of sustainability. You have no business trading apples to another country if you got kids in your country that don't have apples. That's stupid. You have no business in Mexico growing peppers and sending them to America, because Americans will pay $3 for a pepper and the people who live around there can't afford 5 cents for a pepper. That's dumb. That's just dumb. You need to fix up your own little tribal trade first. Make sure your tribe is solid before you get into these trade deals. That's why I disagree with all the trade deals, because you got poor people in all of these places. I grow food and learning to grow more. Yes, Kimberly, because you're a human being, you get what's going on, and you understand that we have to start to threaten the United States corporation of the world. We have to threaten them, because if we don't threaten them by growing more food and buying less, we need the GDP thing needs to start going like this. The corporations, they need to stop having, we can't find enough engineers to work on the tanks. We can't find enough people to make the new bombs and the jets for all the military industrial complex. We got to stop supporting these things. We got to stop buying that crap. We got to cancel your Amazon Prime account. If Amazon Prime went from 64% and it shot down to 32 and people stopped buying all that crap, what do you think Jeff Bezos would do? He would say, damn it, you're affecting my profit. Well, he may not do that. He might be a psychopath. He may not care. But if he is a human being, he'll step back and he'll say, you know what? Maybe I'm going the wrong way. Maybe doing this $600 million deal with the CIA and cloud web services, maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe people don't want the CIA to know what they look like when they're trying to take pictures of themselves doing selfies in the changing room with some panties on, right? Maybe that's private. Maybe the people don't like that. If you send a clear message to Amazon and Jeff Bezos, the United States corporation of the world, that you don't want this to happen, you vote with your dollar, not with the lever, you'd be good to go. Because I don't think I believe in voting anyway. And I'm gonna get Sister Jessica explain it to me, and I get her to explain it to you too. But I think when we say voting actually does nothing, I think it's a lot worse than what we think. I think, because I'm reading up on the United States corporation of the whole murder world, and it's not looking good. You know, I don't think voting is what we think it is. Let me see. Gerard Savior talks on BitChute just as a precaution. Yeah, I'm on BitChute too, Kimberly. Yeah, I upload them all to BitChute. They're all on YouTube. I think I'm on Periscope, and there might be one other, I think. Oh, if you want to get noticed when I go, I usually go live around the same time. Sometimes I have special times. Go out to Twitter. Get yourself a millennial, get them to explain how it works. But every time I go live, it tweets out. So you can get a notification, because I think they're saying they're shutting down a lot of the notifications. Like, I know when the people I like to watch and live stream, a lot of times now, I don't even know when they go live. And like, I feel left out. I feel like I'm like the ugly stepchild, but it's just because they uncheck follow. So if you want to follow somebody, you have to go constantly back out to their page and make sure follow is checked so you get notified, because AI unchecks it. That's really what's going on. AI unchecks it. That's not a software glitch. I'm a software engineer, and I believe a lot of the stuff that we call censorship isn't censorship. It's software glitches, but that button's getting unchecked. That's AI. AI is looking out there saying, oh, they're talking about Russia's not the bad guy. Let's uncheck 13% of the people that follow that person. If Russia was doing that, oh, okay, I already got that one. American Antifa, gentlemen, go down, go down, go down. With the new fake news rating system they're rolling out, there will be green lights and yellow lights and red lights assigned to every news story. RT would be a red. Of course, we know RT is good. Yeah, but you know, Kimberly too. I like. I had a brother. Oh man, I had this dude, brother Sean. He used to do I think it's Kimpo. And the art of Kimpo was like using the other person's force against them and keeping them off balance. He was that crazy dude. Used to go to work in a data center, get to the work, and you always had that crazy friend, big 6'2", used to be a bouncer, big big dude. And he always said, "Hey Ken, come over here, let me show you something." You know, I went by Ken, but you got me, Gerard, come here, let me show you something. No, I don't want you to show me nothing, Sean. No, come here, let me just show you something. No, I don't want you to show me nothing. Brother Todd, if he's out there, Todd knows what I'm talking about. You go to Sean, here, stand here, do this, act like you're gonna hit me. You act like you hit the guy, you flip you around, throw you across the room, you land on the mainframe, blood coming out. Oh, see, I just learned that yesterday. Like, yeah, Sean, that's nice. That's real good. So anyway, so with the red light thing, I think it's okay. Like, whatever they do, you use it against them. So how that works, I guess, if they think it's fake news, it'll be red. And if they think it's real news, it'll be green. If they're unsure, it'll be yellow. So look at only the red stuff. That's simple to me. Because I know everybody, the majority of people I know They're gonna be watching the green stuff. I'm just gonna watch the red stuff because I want to watch something and form my own opinion. Plus, I like good stories. I like lies too. Some of the fake news does come out and it's funny to me, and I was like, people actually believe this, but then a lot of it's hidden in truth too. All right, let me see. Thank you for citing some crosstalk. Peter Lavelle is great, a conservative but intellectually honest, totally fresh analysis compared to Rachel Maddow and Sean Hannity. I don't watch a whole lot of TV, so I really don't know who is a what and how and who and the histories, and I stayed away from the politics stuff. But I do like Peter Lavelle. I don't know. I guess he's a conservative. If you say so. I don't care about the labels. What I care about is what somebody says sounds true, makes sense, and what he says sounds true, makes sense. He always brings different sides to people on the show to discuss and fight and argue. They even had Brother Tim out there. Brother Tim was out there, and they invited Debbie to go out there. So, you know, they're looking at all the different views and stuff. And so I appreciate Crosstalk. I think they tell the truth, and most of my news comes from them. In fact, somebody has to tell me about The Guardian, because it looks like The Guardian's putting out a lot of true stuff too. I might actually start to follow The Guardian. Al Jazeera, I haven't looked at it a lot lately. I'm getting a little scared because they seem like they're agreeing with the United States corporation to murder the world, invade them. And so I think they're sliding towards the mainstream. They got a taste of that money since the Gulf War, so I'm a little worried about them. And CGTN, I like them too. So they don't test Twinkies for anything other than surviving radiation like tardigrades do. No, they don't. And that was my point, because they barely tested vaccines, Brother Andrew. But those are secrets, people. They just they pick a tribe and they just start fighting. Oh, they test them. They have to test them. No, they don't. It's internal testing only. There's no third party anything happening, which is why if we were together as a group and you guys agreed on common ground, and gals, when Robert Kennedy does the testing or whatever, you know, we can give our 2 cents. No, we want third party testing. You know, they can't have any association with the pharmaceutical groups. I want some crazy anti-vaxxers in the test room. I want some pro-vaxxers in the test room. I want them to both all be in there and make sure the test results we get, when it comes out, I want it to be public. Let me see. We're all these kid lovers when it comes to healthcare. Ooh, selective outrage to the max. That's what I mean. People, they pick and choose their tribe, Joel. They're not what they do. They pick and choose. I like this, and I like this, and I like this, because this is what my leaders tell me. And they stand by that, and they don't do any more thinking. After that, it's all Twinkies and lies and whatever they do with their life, and they stick to those points. But then when you talk to somebody who has a wide diversity of friends, you look stupid, which is why I love my friends, because we are pretty diverse, and we talk to everybody. We listen to all points. And when you come talk to us, you better make sure you do your homework on both sides. Don't come with no Democrat talking point. Don't come with no Republican talking point, because it's too isolated. It's like a mushroom. They keep you in the dark and they feed you a lot of shite. Don't be a mushroom. Don't eat shite. Oh, the mushrooms are delicious, though. I love me some fungi. How about banning vaccines? They are poison. Brother Roy. Well, you know what, Roy? So I used, at one point in time, I used to say stuff like that. But when I did, it was divisive, right? It triggers the identity, tribal politics of the pro-vaxxers, the people who believe their doctor, the pharmaceutical companies, not the doctors. They believe the pharmaceutical companies. And so as opposed to being that extreme, I say, why don't we get together, let's test it, and let's prove maybe some are good, maybe some are bad, maybe some are just the total complete cause of autism. But let's get them tested, and then based with those results, I think the intellectuals and the common sense people can actually make that decision that, you know what, this company, you know, all of your vaccines don't work. You need to be banned. You caused autism. You caused this. You did that. Y'all didn't do so bad. You know, we'll talk to y'all later. But y'all, because y'all caused all of this, we are going to break your company up. We're going to take out the profits. We're going to send it all out to the families of those kids who have autism, and we're going to help them because we forced them into situations that we shouldn't have because we trusted you. That's what a government would do if the government gave it there. That's why I try not to say extreme things about anything that we haven't completely vetted and tested in the public, because I don't trust corporations. And that's, I think, my biggest vaccine stance, and the same thing with synthetic drugs and pesticides and herbicides and all that stuff. My stance on all of that is I don't trust corporations. Not because they're evil, but because they're corporations. Their bottom line is the bottom line. And I think you'd have to be a real hopeful, special type of person if you trust greed. That's really what you're saying. You trust greed. You trust that these pharmaceutical companies did the testing and these chemical companies did the testing to a qualifiable standard fairly, when you say you believe in these things that we have no evidence are safe. All right, let me go down to the bottom. Last couple comments, and I'm gonna get off of here. Kimberly said, yes, kerosene. Kerosene heaters are important. You can get them almost anywhere nowadays. Get yourself some kerosene, put it in, you got to put it in a blue jug, and they throw you in prison. Can't carry kerosene unless it goes in a qualified jug, you know, which ULC standards, and somebody's making big money from that, but that's a whole nother discussion. Corporate greed and writing laws and stuff. But get yourself one, and you take your kerosene heater, put it in the closet in the garage or something, put the kerosene over there, and just forget about it. Next time the power goes out, if it's freezing, you take that sucker out, put it in your living room, turn it on. You don't have to worry about chopping wood because you can't breathe anymore because you don't exercise. You go to the gym and you work specific muscle groups, and not the ones for chopping wood. But you just hit the button, put the kerosene in, you got some warmth, and people in your house don't die. It's real simple. Then you invite your neighbors in. Say, hey, y'all, we got heat. Y'all come on in if you want. And that's what I do. But my neighbors, they leave. They go stay with other people. But I got some sustainable neighbors. I got a few of them. Got a lot of guns too. My son asked me this morning, he said, Dad, which one of our friends have assault rifles? Which one of our neighbors? I said, I'm not gonna tell you that. I don't know if they're supposed to have them. I don't tell people secrets. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe, and I'm not a big gun guy. I don't believe in guns. I love technology, but I'm a big believer in you don't disarm the poor people until the wealthy people give up their arms. You don't disarm those being violated until the aggressor gives up their arms. You don't, and that's what happened on The Walking Dead. Joe watched The Walking Dead last night. That's what happened. It was the junk people. Spoiler alert, don't watch this if you didn't see it yet. But they went into the junk people, and Negan and the crew, well, it wasn't on Negan's orders. But he said, all right, they stood off, they all had their guns, and he said, listen, you're gonna have to give up your guns, and we're gonna go back to working together. They gave up their guns. And historically, what always happens when people give up their guns is exactly what happened. Until the wealthy aggressors give up their guns, I don't want to hear about it. Until the FBI, the CIA, the United States corporation of the world that's murdering everybody, until they give them up, I want my neighbor to have a tank. I know my neighbor. I love my neighbor. I trust my neighbor. He's not going to drive the tank into a school. He's going to sit there in the tank and come rescue me because I give him tomatoes and I buy his chicken eggs. Till I get me some chickens. When I get me some chickens, it's all gonna be over. I just don't have time for chickens just yet. When I do, I'm gonna talk to Brother Mark. We're gonna walk, we're gonna get some chickens going on. All right, get down to the bottom of the comments and I'm gonna go. I married a Japanese, other son is mixed, so beautiful. Yes, Kimberly, like I always said, interracial marriages, please breed us out of our misery. We're gonna need y'all to step it up. They're still arguing over race. Y'all need to have more kids. I'm sorry. I know. Hey, listen, you got to take one for the team. You got 3 kids. You can have 4. It's okay. 5, 6. Y'all need to breed these people out. But y'all, people say I get some weird comments when I say that, but I believe it. Y'all need to breed these people out of their racist misery. Just keep breeding. Listen, go home, put on some Barry White, take home a bottle of wine to the wife, get her some roses. Ain't bought her roses in a while. And y'all just get it on. Y'all need to breed us out of our misery. This is nonsense. I like the movie Time Machine. Time Machine was a good movie. Time Machine, the newest one, the latest one, they went forward in time. Everybody looked alike. Oh, it was pretty too. Oh my goodness. Everybody looked like Native Americans. Woo, boy, I'm gonna tell you what. Let me go ahead and find a Time Machine. I'll be in there. But then they had the Ewok things, and they was killing them. Good movie. Watch Time Machine. Save and store your own seeds. Yes, Augustine. Oh, Brother Augustine. Oh. Actually, you know what I was reading about? I'm always reading something. You know how man likes to tell nature what it's going to do? Man tells nature, you know what? Seeds, if you put them in a refrigerator, they'll last about 10 years. It was a lie because they found a squash in some dried area it was like Minnesota or something. They replanted it and the squash grew, and the squash is like 500 years old. You know what they did, brother? They found a seed that was frozen. I forgot where. If I find it, I'll post it. The seed was 32,000 years old. They planted it and the plant grew. Figure that. So save your seeds. This idea that your seeds will only last a few years, that's a lie. I do it all the time. I'll save my pepper seeds and I'll put them in the refrigerator or something. And some I have that are multiple years old. Some I leave out. I don't even put them in the fridge. You put them in the fridge, they'll last longer, but I'll just leave my seeds out and I'll just take them and I'll sprinkle them in a pot and they come up. Nature's so much smarter than us, y'all. Nature knows what it's doing. Just trust it. Trust it. All right, let me see who I missed. Any comments from people that I missed? Love of money, a cold bed mate on the end, love of being more fulfilling, love of money. All right, Renee, I'm not sure where we're going on that one. You meant in? I got to put it back together. Now I'm going to put the whole sentence back together. Love of money, a cold bed mate in the end. Oh, okay. Love of being more fulfilling. That's the problem with like typing on this stuff, because the in and the of and it switches around and somebody tries to read it. Doesn't make them sound. I sound illiterate, like in my of, and my kids are watching like, Daddy can't read. Daddy, there's something wrong with Daddy. Maybe Alzheimer's is setting in. Yeah, love of money. It is. It's a cold bedmate in the end. It's a cold bedmate. You do not want to go this route of thinking that collecting all this asteroid dust ends well for humanity or for you, because you can collect as much as you want. You might do real good, get $100 million in the bank, say, oh, my kid's gonna be set up. Do you know how trillionaires work? Do you even know how sick billionaires are? They will take your $100 trillion from your kids, smack them in the face, put shackles on them, whatever, all the other poor people. You can't, how you beat these people is you don't try to get $100 million. You beat them by preventing them from keeping $100 billion. That's how you beat them. All right, let me see. Brother Andrew, vaccines aren't poison, just not tested thoroughly by the FDA and corruption. And I agree with that stance, Andrew. I think they're just products, but we got so many extreme people that I think some of them are bad and some of them might be good. We don't know which, and so we're just playing Russian roulette because we have two extreme sides that aren't fighting to have them tested. It's like the car. Some of the cars were kind of buggy. Version 1.0 burned up a lot of people. You know, other cars were safe, but we didn't know because we didn't test them ahead of time to find out who's going to get burnt up. You know, I think there's a logical stance, and if in the end it comes out that all vaccines are poison, okay. In the end, we know which ones are and aren't, okay. Or it comes out they're all safe, okay. But I want to know the truth. Let me see. Never trust greed, because even when it helps, it is accidental. A broken clock is right twice a day. Amen, Brother Kevin. Never trust greed. Keep going down to the bottom. Gerard, I use digital data to find out where the buck stops. Utilizing high-tech GIS is a social scientist of human geography corporation. That's deep. That sounds like some IT stuff. That's my background, men. I have to spend a little time to think about. I'm not familiar with GIS. Kathleen, our guns won't match. Our guns won't match their. Oh, there we go. Our guns won't match their technology if they decide to take ours. Our guns are killing each other. Yeah, you can't use a gun to shoot a drone. It's, you know, the stance that I have, though, on the Second Amendment, it's mostly a philosophical stance. These people can murder as many people as they want. I think the guns only might slow them down. It only might come into effect if the United States corporation decides to have a hot war. Actually, we are in a hot war. I take that back. If we accept that we're in a hot war, let's say that, because the United States corporation is in a hot war with its people, its citizens. It's throwing us in prison. It's murdering us in the streets, from Brother Lavoy Fenacom to the ghettos and all over the place. It's always been doing this. And so it actually is in a hot war with us. But I think guns tend to slow them down. They don't want people to have guns, and that's why I want people to have guns. It's basically a Kimpo move, chess, right? Life is chess, not checkers. If the most aggressive, violent, dangerous people on this planet who give guns to every child they can find in a poor country, if they actually want Americans to not have guns, then I want Americans to have every single gun that they can have. If they don't want to talk about pharmaceuticals and, you know, what's behind a lot of these, or what the other factors in a lot of these mass shootings are, I don't want to listen to anything they want to talk about. If they don't want to talk about the poverty that these kids come from, who end up interfacing and fighting with police and doing these school shootings and everything, they don't want to talk about that, then all their solutions are going to be guided in directing me into a bad, false place. Because they are violent people. They've proven that they're the most violent people on the planet. Last comment, and I'm going to let it go. Brother Roy, look at the ingredients in vaccines. Poison. Look at the inserts. Yeah, Roy. You just want to get me in trouble, don't you? Like Andrew. Roy just wants me to say it. I won't say it, but this is what I'll say, and I'll let it go. So, aluminum is not good in the brain. Neither is mercury. And there's it is a different name that they call it when it's a different compound, aluminum-like. I'm not even gonna go there. Nope, not gonna go there. Not go there, Roy. Not go there. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I'm vaccinating right now. I just vaccinated because my smoothie is full of a lot of raw, deep leafy greens. There's peppers and a few other things. Farmers don't wash their hands. You ever seen a farmer? Shake his hand. Look at his hand. They don't wash their hands. So I make raw smoothies and I drink them. My body's exposed to the bacteria that can take care of the bacteria in this environment that might be harmful to me. My immune system learns how to fight it off. And so when you come to me and you cough up on me, this bacteria that your body's fighting with, this virus, then my body can fight it off. My white blood cells, and it gives me a lifelong immunity. So I'm not going to go there, Brother Roy. You're not going to get me in trouble. I'm going to say test them because I don't want to start an argument. I just want us to agree on the common ground that this stuff needs to be tested. And while we waiting for it to be tested, I'm going to keep drinking my flu shot and vaccine, and I'm not going to let y'all take it. Anyway, this is Gerard. A good conversation. Love y'all. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.